Thank you.
Right. So if you say there are internal checks within the National Assembly to prevent pardon, if those checks exist, why do allegations of pardon keep emerging publicly every year?
Well, I think there is this syndrome of the sins of the father. You recall, I take you back to the Holy Scripture, you know, what the Bible says about the inherited sin that man, you know, has sinned. Not because I sinned today, but because my father, Adam, sinned. So I have sinned. And when we came on board as a parliament, His Excellency Right Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, he said to Nigerians, say, please judge us by what we do, not by the sins of the father. Don't judge us by the antecedent of the past parliament. And in doing this, we want you to see what we do. So we are going to be a result of lack of water supply in my federal constituency today. In fact, in the whole of Benue State, people will tell you that Benue State, you know, has a big river, but I can tell you that it is a state where, even despite the river, people there are still thirsty. Okay. So how do you think that as a member of the parliament, I will support the budget of the Ministry of Water Resources if I do not see, you know, considerable improvement or proposal to address the issue of water supply as regards to the well-being of my people?
But Honorable, can you share any specific cases where those internal mechanisms you've talked about actually prevented or exposed budget pardon?
Yes, you see, in the wisdom of the parliament, the various committees that we have in the parliament, for instance, we have the House Committee on Appropriation. You have His Right Honorable Kabiru Bichi as the head of that committee from the north. His deputy, Honorable Igariwe, is from the south. And again, when you go to the House Committee on Finance, Right Honorable Abiodun Faleke is from the south. The deputy is from the north. Why do we do this? It is to ensure that every segment of the Nigerian society, you know, all the constituencies are carried along in the activities of the committee. You have professional committees in the parliament, you have technical committee, and you have administrative committees. So in the technical or professional committees like finance and appropriation, first and foremost, you must saddle competent Nigerians with that responsibility for them to be able to deliver. And how do we populate these committees? You have experts, you know, in tax law, in forensic audit, you know, who are in the parliament. For instance, the Committee on Security. For you to be a member of the Committee on Security, you must have a sort of background in security. Then you put these people in this committee. So when these committees are populated at the end of the day, you have capable Nigerians, you know, who can see, you know, beyond their nose in analyzing and assessing this budget document. And when we do it, you bring the budget document again. What did we do? What are the check and balances, internal control mechanisms that have been put in place as a parliament? One, after the second reading of the appropriation bill, copies were produced by the House Committee on Appropriation and circulated to every member of the parliament, and above all, made public, because some members have constituents who are also knowledgeable in some of these issues. So wherever they are, they look at this document and they send proposals, you know, to their representatives. These are areas we would want, you know, some sort of amendment. You get them. And when the agencies also come, at the course of their presentations, they make suggestions. Then we look at it as a committee. The committee passes the budget. The budget, again, is passed to the entire parliament for third reading.
Thank you for that,
members come together, you study it.
So two things you've said tonight, which I'm sure some Nigerians are hearing for the first time. You've said that budget padding is not a real issue. It's just a misunderstanding of the legislative process. You've also said that lawmakers pad budgets to secure funds for their constituencies. But do you think that greater openness, such as publishing every version of the budget with tracked changes, would reduce media speculation?
Parliament, we, beyond these proposals, because the figures are proposals, we are interested in how Mr. President is going to fund the budget, because it is ambitious, how he is going to generate the resources to fund the budget. Today we have the tax reform bills, which of course very soon Mr. President is going to assent to. When they are assented to, how do we follow the laws? And beyond the budget, we have other bills coming through the National Assembly that Mr. President has assented to. How are we following these, laws? How are we implementing our laws? People will tell you that the problem with Nigeria is not the lack of laws, but the implementation of our own laws.
Yeah.
Are we not going to clap for the parliament that has helped to see this come to fruition?
And I'm also sure you wouldn't blame Nigerians, because this embarrassing allegation of padding the national budget in Nigeria is not new. It's not a new phenomenon. In fact, the current incident echoes... Kindly hold on. This current incident echoes the event of 2018. I remember when former President Muhammadu Buhari, representing the executive branch of government, also accused the legislative arm of doing exactly what Senator Abdunungi accused his colleagues of doing. So would you support a public hearing where media and civil society can directly question budget allocations?
Why not? That is what we have been doing. And that is why in the last 2 years since we came on board, we have been inviting the media, the civil society, and Nigerian professionals.
If that's what the House has been doing, this media speculation would have stopped.
No, you see, Parliament, we are to explain what we do to Nigerians. They are our bosses. Let them know these are the things that we are doing, so that at every point in time, Nigerians feel that we are not on track. They will be able to reel us back on track. So basically, if Nigerians learn, to see this parliament, within the short period of time that it has stayed in office, and see the developmental efforts that we have put in, the transformational activities that we have carried out, like engaging young Nigerians, engaging the youth, engaging civil society, having an open parliament, and above all, the issue of transparency and accountability. So, we wouldn't mind, if the executive at any point in time feels that, we have lopsided budget allocation. Because you can't say the people in Borno today do not need some of these issues that have been captured in the budget.
Right.
There's no part of Nigeria today that is not in need of access road for farmers. There's no part of this country today that the issue of potable water, should not be addressed by government. Why should Nigerians be buying, a sachet of pure water for 20 Naira when we have all the resources to provide these things to the common person? What happens to those people who are not able to afford this water? And that is the purpose of Parliament. That is why we are here. The first instance why we are voted into office,
and
to address these issues.
Also for the sake of openness, transparency, and accountability. And I hope that the House is ready to push for more reforms to make the budget process more transparent going forward. Before I let you go tonight,
it is a work in progress.
I know. I understand. Yes, I understand that.
It is a work in progress. We just came on board. We have spent less than 2 years in office, and we intend to do more. In fact, we have suggested to the executive that budget should come, 3 months before, the close of that legislative year, before the close of that budget year, for us to be able to take enough time and expand this document. In fact, in one of our discussions, the leadership of the House of Representatives has even suggested, in a statewide budget session, public debate on budget, where we can take the budget document to a particular geographical location, and we invite Nigerians in that locality to say, this is the proposal sent to us by Mr. President.
Yes.
We want your input.
Yes.
And Mr. President again has assured the Parliament that he's ready, to address these issues.
Right. It's important that we get there. But quickly before I let you go, I want to take you up on other matters. You and your colleagues at the local level, your own state, Benue APC, Benue APC caucus in the National Assembly, and for the sake of numbers, 2 senators, 12 House of Reps members endorsed Mr. President for a second term in office. In 8 days, it will be 2 years of Mr. President steering the affairs of this country. What's your assessment?
Well, it wasn't a political decision in any way at all. We came together as a parliament, and of course, you must have seen the wave of endorsement, for Mr. President across the country in the last few weeks. Why are Nigerians endorsing the president? That is very, very critical and important. First, as a caucus, because it was the APC caucus, 2 senators out of 3 senators in the National Assembly. Again, you have 11 members of the House of Representatives. 10 out of 11 came together and said, with what Mr. President has done, we considered the road construction from Nasarawa passing through Benue to Enugu State. We looked at the Super Coastal Highway, from part of Benue through Cross River and through Ebonyi. We look at the housing project that Mr. President has embarked on. And even recently as a state, you're also aware that we were faced with this challenge of insecurity. And today, the deployment that Mr. President has caused in terms of armed men and security agencies into our state. And we said, no, if a president has been able to achieve all this within a period of 2 years, go close to my constituency. The Senate Minority Leader, His Excellency Senator Abba Moro, brought a people's bill before the parliament for a Federal College of Agriculture and Technology to be instituted in our locality in order to harness our agricultural potentials. And the president, in his wisdom, assented to it, giving that to us. We have the Federal University of Health Sciences receiving improved allocations, to be able to cater for the health needs of our people. And we said, if the president has been able to achieve all this in 2 years, we believe he will do more if given more time. So we came together, under the inspiration of our leader, the Secretary to the Secretary to Government of the Federation, His Excellency Senator George Akume, and all of us agreed, endorsed that document, and said this president has done well. My dear sister, is this message that we have passed to ourselves, to our constituents, and to Nigerians different from the sonorous song, coming from northwest Nigeria?
All right.
Is it different from the sonorous song coming from part of the southeast? So Nigerians are united when it comes to the activities of Mr. President and how well he has been able to address the problems of the country. And so we said as a caucus, the Benue APC National Assembly caucus, to say this president has done well.
All right.
And this president deserves to be supported, given more time to do more for Nigeria.
Right. Thank you for joining us tonight. Deputy Spokesperson, House of Representatives, Honorable Philip Agbese. Thank you so much. It was important to have that conversation because we cannot continue to hear about budget padding. This must be fixed. Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking with us.
It's a pleasure. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.